Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, something that I've actually been wanting to make a video about for quite some time, but I've always had difficulties with it due to various issues, and that's the Power Rangers. And today some very interesting news dropped. Today for me, probably yesterday for you, depending on when this video gets uploaded, or even in the past, depending on when you're watching it. Some new interesting things have come out about the Power Rangers, about some new things coming up for not only TV, but possibly the movie reboots as well. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a massive Power Rangers fan, and I have been for a very long time. From Mighty Morphin Power Rangers all the way up, I think I watched it to right around Ninja Storm, maybe a little bit beyond that. I don't really remember. But I have been a massive fan of this franchise, and I actually was really trying to get out a video where I talked about how Power Rangers should actually go animated rather than live action in terms of TV series or anything like that. Unfortunately, that video never quite made the cut due to various issues throughout the production of it, but now there's some news that has come out that they're possibly going to be not only bringing a cinematic universe for TV, but also for the movies and crossover as well. Now, Power Rangers was recently acquired by Hasbro. I think that happened right around a year, close to 2 years ago, somewhere around the 25th anniversary. They've been with them, they've been producing the toys as well as the show. And now since they're under that Hasbro umbrella, there's been a lot of news as to what's going to be happening with the Power Rangers reboot, as there was a movie, I believe it was 2017, that the Power Rangers movie came out. Loved that movie. It does have its problems, but I think it was actually pretty good for what it was trying to present. Now they're probably going to do a whole new reboot, get rid of that, and do this sort of shared universe between TV and film. Now, what's interesting about that is there's already several ongoing actually, Power Rangers series, including Beast Morphers, which I believe is in season 2, as well as there's going to be a new one that's coming out in 2021. I don't quite remember the name of it. I'll put it on the screen here somewhere, but I do know that that one's upcoming as well. So if we take those two franchises that are already existing within Power Rangers, add on top of that, now there's going to be a movie. I don't know if it's going to be based on these particular franchises ongoing, if it's going to be something completely new, and then we're going to have to bring it in. I don't know what their plan is, but essentially the plan is to create a universe where all of these characters are interacting and sharing it. Most likely, and the smartest move in my opinion, would be that they decide to go with the Shattered Grid storyline from the comics. I think that makes the most sense, so we get a wide variety of Power Rangers from a variety of different timelines and all sort of shared that universe. That makes the most sense to me. But will they likely do something else? More than likely. Now, this new shared universe is going to be run by a gentleman by the name of Jonathan Entwistle. I apologize if I butchered that name. But essentially what he's going to be doing is running the franchise from both the TV's perspective as well as the movie's perspective. So the only thing that has me most excited about that is, number one, we're going to have a shared continuity and not have to have a lot of different people working on different projects, but it's going to be one solid vision. It's not going to be something that's going to be back and forth all the time. In addition to that, I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a tough thing to balance because I don't really care too much about what's going on in the shows anymore. So if they're going to make a movie, it's going to have to be something new and possibly original. But something that he did mention, interestingly, Mr. Entwistle, I believe is his name, is that he mentioned that there was a story that they were kind of playing with where somehow modern characters would maybe go back in time to 1993 and sort of maybe interact with those original Power Rangers. I think that would be an interesting storyline, but the Shattered Grid one is way better because we get a broader spectrum of what's been going on. And as much as I love Jason, Kimberly, Zach, Trini, and Billy, and Tommy, I feel like that's the meat of where Power Rangers is the most popular. But at the same time, if they keep doing it too many times, a lot of people are going to get tired of it. So that's where my biggest concern, if they stay with that. I want them to do that particular Mighty Morphin franchise, but realistically it probably won't happen, especially if they're going to be doing a big crossover with TV and what's happening in continuity there, especially with bringing in a lot of new fans. But then they're also going to be losing a lot of fans because people like me who stopped watching years ago likely don't care much about what's been happening on TV or know of it. So how they're going to balance what's happening on TV with what's happening on the big screen, bringing those people cross over into both into making it interesting enough will be really unique, because I don't know if I've ever seen something like that. I mean, the Turbo movie that came out in 1997 was essentially a pilot for the Turbo series, but it wasn't its own separate thing. It was a transition more than anything else, and it connected with the continuity of what was happening on the TV show, but this one I think is just a whole new ballgame. So in summary, I think that the smartest thing for this franchise to do going forward would be to follow in more of a multiverse theory versus a shared cinematic universe. I feel like if it's shared, you're going to have to run into problems of maybe different cities, different monsters having to go into a lot of cliches of that big monster that wants to take over the world. If you have separate multiverses, it allows, very much like the Shattered Grid storyline, which is essentially a multiverse storyline, for that to be a lot more interesting by bringing in characters that we've seen before or do know, maybe even bringing in the 2017 version of Power Rangers, who knows? But at least make it kind of interesting in the dynamic that all of these characters can exist, but they're not so connected that, I don't know, John from 1 can talk to Billy from the original. I don't know if there's a John character, sorry. I'm sure there is somewhere. But let's say Connor from Lightspeed Rescue wants to talk to Billy from Mighty Morphin. That works more in a continuity of a separate universes, especially if we consider the different ages depending on when they are or even what world, because there's franchises like SPD and a couple of other ones that completely go out of the realm of possibility in terms of what could be happening on an Earth 1 type of scenario. So it's smarter to go multiverse, in my opinion, with a storyline like Shattered Grid over doing a shared cinematic universe, but we'll just have to wait and see what they decide to do with this franchise in 2021 as more new information comes out. But I did want to go ahead and touch on that with you. If you do want to see my video on Power Rangers Should Go Animated, let me know down in the comment section down below. Also, while you're down there, let me know if you think that this cinematic universe is even a good idea. Also, while you're down there still, make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you did like this video, as well as hit that subscribe and notification bell if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. And also don't forget that I have Cinematically Late every single Thursday, posted around 9 p.m, as well as I have a new live every single Sunday at 7 p.m. You can come join me, talk live about some of this Power Ranger news or whatever else may be going on. I hope to see you there. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.